great day in SimWorld, everybody. Good morning and welcome to SimWorld today. I'm not Marsh. I'm V-Ron taking over the host chair this morning. And joining me is Rick Blaze. Rick, it's good to be back on the show with you, my friend.
V-Ran, good to be here. It's Thursday. Let's get to it.
It sure is, man. Let's jump right into it, shall we? We have seen a lot of things going on in the SWBA with the regular season winding down. A couple of games left around the league. But one of the probably the most surprising thing that's happened is the Denver Nuggets have cleaned house. They fired their head coach Mike Malone, as well as many others in leadership positions in the organization. This is a very strange decision, given what's going on with the Nuggets. They're in the playoff race, and they're gonna be in the playoffs and all that. Just thoughts on this overall, Rick, in general.
This is the craziest thing. I think it's been under talked about. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen in professional sports in the SWBA, to my knowledge. Like, your team is in the playoffs, making a playoff run. They won a championship a few years back. They're on their way to start the playoffs in a few weeks, and you're firing the head coach and telling the GM we're good. Like, this wild times here in the SWBA. I've never seen anything like this before. You just put a death sentence on the team's chance to win the championship. They have no chance of winning the championship now. Now, can they win a playoff series? Yes. Can they win a couple series? Yes. But you cannot win when you have chaos and things crumbling around you. Like, you spent the entire season building up continuity. And just before the playoff run, that's ballsy. The owners of Denver Nuggets have a huge set of balls in their pants, because that is a ballsy move. Because you're telling the fans and the team, I don't give a damn. So I'm going to just do what I want to do because I want to do it, and it is what it is. Now, I don't know if we know the whole full story. I feel like to make this type of move this time of year, it has to be more than just what we've been told. So this is ballsy. My man, he got him hanging to the ground right now. That's for sure.
You would think, yeah, that there's something going on here with everything. There's no really rhyme or reason why this happened, because again, you talked about it, Rick. This is a team that's in the playoffs. They're gonna have a playoff game here pretty soon, and it doesn't make sense for this to happen when it did. The reason that was given by the Nuggets president, Josh Kroenke, said he went on social media and he said that things weren't trending in the right direction for the franchise, which, again, given what you listed earlier with the things that they've accomplished, with the players that they have one of the best players in the league, Nikola Jokic. They've won a championship a few seasons ago. How can you say that after after all that? And there's a quote here, actually. The quote is from Kroenke himself. What I would say is that, having observed that group over a period of time, there were certain trends that were very worrisome to me at different points in time. So that's vague, sure. I don't know what those trends were. We probably won't know what those were, but if that's the case, hey, I guess.
But why do it now? If you notice those trends, you could have fired him mid-season.
I agree.
You could have fired him at the beginning of the season, or you could do like normal people would do and wait till at the end of the season. You don't know what kind of playoff team or what kind of playoff run Denver Nuggets would have made. You can't say they trending in the wrong direction. They haven't played They haven't played a single damn playoff game yet. There is no direction. So we're about to find out what kind of team they are in the playoffs. They haven't played a single game, so how can you say this is just smoke and mirrors? Now, I have on good authority that I hear that they've been trying to get Hurley, the college coach, to be their coach
from UConn.
And
yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, so I don't. I'm sure that plays a part. From what I've been hearing, they interviewed him like last week. Hell, the coach was fired last week. I mean, you already pre-interviewing the UConn coach, so you already had. It's crazy. My man got a big set on him. He got a huge set on him. Shout out to him because he let them hang on.
It wild times be sure in Denver, absolutely, no doubt about that. And look, we'll keep an eye on them and see how that playoff run goes. Because losing a coach, having a change like that, big deal. Good luck with all that, right? But your Rockets, Rick, they're looking pretty good themselves. They're on a nice little run to end the season here, 8-2 in their last 10 game in their last 10 games here. 3 game win streak. They're looking really good as of late. Second in the conference as well. And does this have the is this a sign of things to come in the playoffs for the Rockets? Do you think?
100%. If you're the Western Conference team, there's one team you do not want to play, and that's the Houston Rockets right now. We match up really well against most Western Conference teams, and Mark's not gonna like me saying this, but he can't deny it's true. We own the Golden State Warriors. We own them. We have real estate all up and down the greater Golden State area. We own the Golden State Warriors. They got to pay toll every time they see our faces. So, but we match up against mostly everybody. It's going to be tough because we are a young team. Our best offensive player, which is Jalen Green, is kind of up and down. When he's good, he's really good. When he's bad, he's really bad. So I say this team is going to go as far as you got Ahmed Thompson, who's merging as a superstar. He doesn't have quite the offensive arsenal just yet, but we are a dangerous team. If we can get a few things to go our direction, if we can get some consistency offensively, I think going to the Western Conference Finals is not out of the question. Western Conference Championship is not out of the question for the Houston Rockets this season.
So I'll be honest, I haven't kept up much with the Rockets this season. I know what I know from you and other guys on the SimWorld team. Uh, but from what I understand, and looking at the record here, they're pretty dang good. So, so
You understand correctly, sir. You would understand correctly.
so I would say yes, that this is a sign of things to come for the Rockets, especially when you talk about playoff series. Again, the difference between college basketball and pro basketball come to playoffs is that it's one and done in Hoopsteria versus series in the pro game. And normally in a series, the best team's usually going to come out winning that series more times than not. In a one game situation, any team can win on any given night. But if it's a series, most times your best teams are going to win. Your top teams are going to advance to the further rounds later in the playoffs for that reason, because they're the better team. They have more opportunities to adjust, barring any kind of significant injuries, things like that, obviously. So it would not surprise me to see the Thunder and the Rockets coming down to those final two in that Western Conference Championship series. I still like the Thunder. Personally, they've been my pick for the last 2 seasons now to eventually win the title. And even last season to make it there, that kind of thing. But I think that it wouldn't surprise if it came down to those two teams at the end of it in the West.
Yeah, absolutely. I think honestly, with Denver dropping the egg like they did, it actually opens it up for the LA Lakers, I believe, too now. Because now LA is a bad matchup for Denver. Denver plays really well against the Lakers. But now that Denver is don't have the head coach, so I think now it's a 3-team race for the Western Conference Championship between Houston, OKC, and King James and the Lakers.
Rick, that is a perfect segue. I like that because we're talking about the Lakers right now because the Lakers are also going to be in the playoffs. I'm still kind of like jaw on the floor about the Luka trade to get them to this point, but regardless, they're here. And now the question becomes though, they don't have Anthony Davis. I'm not saying he's the dominant big, but the question is, can the Lakers win in the playoffs long term without a dominant big? They don't have Anthony Davis. Their tallest player, or the tallest guy then 6'9" is Jackson Hayes. I'm not, again, I haven't kept up with the Lakers in general a lot this season, but again, they have Luka, they have LeBron. Is that going to be enough? Can they do it with those two on the team? Personally, personally, I'm going to say I'm gonna say there's a chance they could do it. Win, I don't know. I don't know what winning means in this scenario. Winning the title, I don't think they can do that. But I think they could have a nice little run in the playoffs for sure.
I mean, they don't have an AD. They don't have a dominant big. What they do have is a king. And correct me if I'm wrong. As long as you got a king, you got a chance. So King James is still King James. He turns it up in the playoffs. Luka's gonna be. We need Luka to carry the bucket of water for the most of the way, and let King James go ahead and finish the job. Hell yes, they got a chance because they have a king on their team.
I'll say this much. I know you said it a minute ago for the Rockets, but I really think that the Lakers are a team that you really should look out for come playoff time. Again, because they have Luka and LeBron. I think that when it comes to the playoffs, Rick, and high stakes games, it's beneficial to have two star players at minimum. One is great, but two is even better. And the Lakers having both Luka and LeBron, that changes things big time for this franchise come playoff time, Rick. This is a huge deal for them. And, earlier in the season, this wasn't even a talked about thing. Lakers get into the playoffs? Yeah, sure. But, now that they're here, they're in the playoffs now. I want to look out for them. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Again, I'm going to reiterate. I'm going to feel like a broken record. If you got a king, you got a chance. Period. LeBron James at 40 on any given night is still a top 10 player in the league. On any given night, even at 40 years old, he's a top 10 player in the league right now. Luka is Luka is really good. Overall, it's gonna be a hot take. Overall, I'm not as crazy about Luka's game as most people are. But you can't deny he gets the job done. I'm not in love with the type of game he plays most of the time, but he gets the job done. But forget all that. You got a king in King James. You got a chance.
Yeah, you sure do. Look, Rick, you know what they say, man. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at this guy and say his name, LeBron. If you haven't seen any of those LeBron songs going around, definitely check them out. They're hilarious. Absolutely. Well, look, I had a good time with you, Rick. Thanks for hopping on with me this morning. Appreciate you as always. Thank you all for listening to SimWorld today. We appreciate you all for listening as you usually do. SimWorld U continues basketball here. Game of the week is tonight. It is Utah and UCLA. That's going to be a fun one to keep an eye on out there in the Pac-12. You guys keep an eye out for that one. Big implications all around as the college season winds down. Pro season winds down. We'll be here to go through all of it the rest of the way. Rick, I'm B-Ron. Have a good rest of your day. Remember, you guys, SimWorld is the only place where you can see the game, be the game. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir.